we talk about. But yeah,
The
I
closing.
honestly, man, like her, like the pick between Allen and David is really it's weird to me, for one. But you like what you like. I ain't gonna, it is what it is. Didn't like how they played it. They could have been more open with everybody. I didn't like how David was like, I declined to respond or something he said that was I was like, that's stupid, man.
Right.
You know why we on this show. You know what we want to hear. Like after this, nobody's gonna care. You know what I'm saying? So get your 15 minutes of fame and tell us what we want to hear. But
Man, they should have.
um I'm happy that they found some happiness. I'm not gonna say like, yeah, but I hope that Alan and Michelle, well, I hope Michelle because Alan seems to be happy at this point. But I hope Michelle can find her happiness as well
Right.
because she seems out of the four people, she seems to be affected the most. Like she
Right.
still seems salty about the whole thing. Alan kind of's like, I don't they cool. I ain't messing with them, but they cool and moving on. But she seems to be still salty about it.
Yeah,
Your
I think
thought-
what's so funny is Tommy that you would say that because I got the same vibe from Michelle, like she was salty, but then later on she said, "Well, oh, this was a year ago."
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's fine.
she still
I said you still sound salty to come back later. Oh, it's a year ago.
yeah.
I'm over it. No, you not. No, you not. And I know reunions kind of stir up them old feelings, but I feel like Alan, he looks upset still, but better. Like
Right.
Yeah, Alan just
Yeah.
like Alan. He looked like he about to cry every time he talked though. It looked like tears were welling up in his eyes every time he was getting ready to speak about the situation. But one thing I do like about Alan though, he had somebody. He found the girl beforehand, but and he was willing enough to say, and wait. And when it didn't work out, he went to the young lady. I did read something about Alan too, though. He said he wasn't opposed. The picture that they showed on the reunion isn't who he was dating at the time. We saw a sister who's an African American woman. He dates a Caucasian lady now. But he said in a post or something that he put or an article I read that Alan said he wasn't opposed to the experts finding him somebody with color. So they could have matched him and MM together
down with the swirl.
if they thought it was going to work. Alan said he wasn't opposed to it because he dated African American women before. So, David, he found somebody. So, but that leads me to this point where when Michelle and Alan was talking to the experts, they said they heard a rumor that they was going to match Michelle, Madison and David anyway. Did any of y'all hear that rumor before or heard about that? Or that was the first time y'all heard that
No,
the experts was going to match?
That was
that
my
was the
first
first
time.
time that was the first time I heard of that. Artika said that was news to her.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. And then everybody else was like, "Oh yeah, we heard it," and I'm all like, "Yeah, I didn't hear that."
Yeah.
Right. Hey, here's a question for you guys, Tommy and Talisa and Artika. If the expert had matched Madison and David from the get-go, do you think they would have worked?
Nah.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think that just their happenstance that they both were in relationships that they did not like, weren't going the way they wanted, and so they ended up being together because of the conversations and getting to know each other and being vulnerable. I don't think she would have liked him at all.
I don't think that it's not she wouldn't have liked him. It would have been the pressure of the cameras and everything because you think about it like this, they got an opportunity to actually date each other off camera with
Right.
no pressure, nobody really looking into them, and then all of a sudden they have to deal with everything. So now that they've built this cushion, because we all know it's different, you know, and they're not married. There's no pressure of trying to get to know a person. They had already got an 8-week head start on dating each other secretly. So there's that bond there, and then it's like they had an opportunity to like actually go out and
Well,
do things. Go
I
for
hear
it.
what you're saying. I hear what you're
Yeah.
saying. But he's a
Okay.
black man, and she didn't want to be with a black man. So for
I didn't
me,
even think about that,
yeah,
man.
he's a black man. She didn't want to be with a black man. So I think that she would have been like Michelle and had her guard up. Her defense system would have been a little higher because he was a black man, and what
Hmm.
she wanted to marry was a white man. And maybe after a few weeks she would have felt differently, but right off top, I would say no. And then she would. I felt like she would have been like Michelle and would have been like, "You live with your mama. You don't make enough money. You smoke. You
Right.
cut." Like I feel like she would have had all that other stuff because number one, he was black. So
Hmm.
you know,
Like, and that's the thing I can't put my finger on. It's like, what was so different about David than Allen that made you say, "Hey, I want David versus Allen"?
I
The
think it was
mission
more of the
with,
chase.
huh?
I think I think it was more of the chase, the way that they got involved with each other, the
Yeah,
conversation. You kind of said that they dated, a trauma bond over their relationship
yeah,
wasn't working. They had the gym in common, and then he's so flirtatious and brash that it works for her, right? He doesn't mind. They're like-minded in that sense, where they're both younger than Michelle and Alan. They both like to party, go to clubs. They both like to drink. Y'all know the other thing I think that they got in common. So I ain't trying to put nobody's business. I ain't trying to get sued. But I tell you the other thing they got in common. So they got those things in common. And she's like, you know what? I can rock with him, but he's doing the same thing because look at it. He moved out of the basement with her. She's taking care of him.
yeah.
What he say? Oh, I take care of my girl. I buy her dinner all the time. Well, you might be buying her dinner because you ain't paying for rent, electricity, or anything else.
I ain't no way. I don't think that he in that place not paying nothing. Now, I think that you might be going overboard. Like, no,
No, hold on.
no, ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Hey,
I'm just
Ain't
saying.
no way.
Hey, listen,
Ain't
because
no way.
ain't no way. Yeah. And that look, there they go. There they go.
Yeah, they gonna be in and out, man.
In and
So
out, in and out. But I
yeah,
just really think like, ain't no way. Like he his parents, I think, wouldn't. He's not raised that I'm gonna just be getting taken care of. He may
yeah.
not be paying a lot, you know what I'm saying? But I cannot see him not
He
contributing.
paying his fair share.
He's doing his part as best
Yeah,
he can. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't
yeah.
know.
I can't say that he's just in there living and eating up all her food, but that's what I call it. He just sitting in there eating up all the food. But you personally, I'm glad y'all working out, but I want to be a hater on y'all because it's like I just don't agree with how you rolled it out.
Yeah.
Like you got to be 100 with people, and you got to stop caring what people gonna say, what people gonna think. If you like, it's been plenty of girls I'm broke up with because I felt like this ain't it,
Yeah.
and I was like, as soon as I felt that feeling, I was like, nah, I'm good. We
Yeah.
need to do something else. And right, I'm good, love, enjoy. But it's like, man, just man, I wish he stopped doing going that way. But yeah, so yeah. You got anything to say about what was the question again, Talisa?
Um do we think that if they were matched, they would have worked out? If David and Madison were matched from the beginning, if they would work out?
Apparently, if the sex life was what she needed it to be, yeah. But otherwise, no. Stop.
Yeah. So Quad is ready. He looks like he's ready to fight. Okay.
Quad has not had a nap today.
Oh.
And he did not get very many naps yesterday because we went to several locations for a birthday party.
He look like he's gonna get in trouble though. He better get it together. Quad, I can't handle
He
it.
about
Okay?
to go to bed, is what he don't know.
I'm trying to lean over so y'all don't see me, man.
No,
Nah, you good.
I know what's happening.
Tight teeth.
Yeah.
If you
Artiga gonna dress this man like Homer Simpson though.
Did I?
No, he looks so handsome.
This is not a Homer Simpson
Look,
fit.
he need a haircut.
He does need a haircut.
His shirt all like
I'm
where
not
it
doing
wanna
this with
be.
you.
Anyway, What's next, Lynn? Who next?
So, hey, the question I have for you guys was, but Michelle said his money was funny, so that's why I'm just talking about back to David's money. But you know, he might pay a little something. They got an investment property. You know, all his money tied up in investment property.
And
That's
I
that's what I was about to say. That's how he's getting out of paying his fair share of things. You know, I got that other house.
I think that he's contributing. I don't
He's
know.
paying a percentage. I'm saying fair share, equitable share.
I don't know.
I got that other house.
Yeah, listen. My hope is that I'm just gonna put this out there. My hope is that he is carrying himself and doing what's right. But if he's not, then he's definitely D'ing her down really good to the point where she can't see and understand what the red flags are. But my hope, you know what I'm saying? And he got an investment place in Iowa, but he might have got it. You know how they be having those auctions for people who lose their homes, and it might have been only $5,000. You know, sometimes.
Yeah, I want to do that, man.
Yeah, me too. I know somebody who did it, and you know, it didn't have hers happened. Just need a little bit of work, and now it's up and running, and she making money from it. But it could be one of those things. So I'm hoping that I'm hoping because he's got some proof, something to prove to these people that he doing right by her. Like I hope so. Look at her ticket.
This the ending of the proving us wrong. Like they done trying to prove us wrong. Now they just out here living their life. And she's like, well, you know, I was already paying the bills by myself. David's got that house in Iowa.
I just can't. I feel like Michelle is gonna be. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jackie.
No, I said I'm with you. I'm with you. I think he is holding his fair share because, like you said, he got something to prove. And I think, guess what? You're gonna do extra for who you want to do it for. He moved out the basement because he had something to prove. Michelle wasn't nothing to move out the basement for. Madison is.
Well, Michelle didn't ask him to move out the basement. Michelle act like she had to move in the basement, and that's where her problem started. I was like, baby, you don't have to move in.
Right.
But he didn't go do no extra effort to try to convince her either, because he was like, oh well, that's how you feel. He said I can get up and go anytime I want to.
His friend proved her wrong because his friend was like, David can afford to buy a house right now, and David went and bought a house. Granted, not in Chicago, but in Iowa. I don't know what the real estate market looks like in Iowa.
Well, his brother lives in the house. He said on the episode that his brother lived in the house in Iowa.
So did him and his brother buy this house together?
I'm not sure, but his brother's his tenant. So I'm not. Yeah, he said it was his brother was staying in it. So I'm not 100% sure on that.
Can I go back a little bit? Because I want to say about the mixed match, the interracial part. I just wanted, because Pastor Cal said on there, he said when they match people, they don't do I would like to try.
Yeah.
So ain't no way they didn't match them. He was like, so it wasn't that she said she didn't like black guys. She said she wanted to marry a white guy. Which y'all know that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
You'll date and play house and do all that other stuff with a black man, but you don't want to marry him. But she said she was open to it. But he was like, we don't do open to it because it's an experiment, but you ain't gonna experiment extra on our account. No.
Right.
No.
And you have to also take into account not just how you feel about it, but like how your family's gonna treat them and stuff like that. Because like even though you're the one marrying them, and especially in these experiments, you have to deal with everything and everybody that's surrounding it. Because like we're more likely to excommunicate our family for somebody that we fell in love with, rather than somebody that's just placed in our lives, and you know that you got an end and date on them being placed in your life. You can keep them away from your racist grandma, but not so much if you chose them.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's truly a good point there. It's definitely true. It would have worked. It would have been awkward for Madison if they had met for me. I think it would have been awkward for her. Real awkward. here because remember David said he wanted a blonde hair, blue eyed person anyway. That's what he wanted. He didn't want anybody with any color. He wanted a blonde hair, blue eyed person. That was his preference. And he got what he wanted. He just got the one that didn't want to be in the basement and who loved her statue, her status, and wasn't open minded to the fact that he's not gonna pull you down to the basement. And he may just have to live with you for a while. And you know, he may have to say y'all get yourself together. And it doesn't hurt.
She's okay with it.
Right. But she did. Special.
But she did ask him. Michelle did. I don't know. Michelle may have asked him. She did. I don't remember her really saying, "What's your plan?" But Madison said, "What's your plan?" And he said, "I'm gonna get out." Is that the right girl? Yeah. Madison said, He said, "I'm gonna leave in a little bit, right? You know, I plan on leaving in a few months." And when the few months started coming, and she was like, "The D is good. He got me over here with my nose wide open. You come live with me." Right. Versus letting him move out on his, like, I think that she should have let him move out, he'll live on his own, enjoy that for a little bit, see if y'all still connect, and then, you know, move somewhere together. Y'all know how I feel about people moving in together. Y'all know how I feel about people moving in together into somebody else's house. Like, you can move in, but you can't move it. Like, we need to move somewhere together. Y'all know how I feel about that. So
it's rough.
Yeah,
been there, done that.
Yeah. So
yeah. That's weird. So let's get with this mess right here, okay? Let's get with and the mess with EKG, Brandon, and MM.
Oh.
I feel, but if I'll let y'all start. Let's go, Artika. Well, just thoughts on MM, Brandon, and EKG. The whole I ain't gonna say love triangle, not even love triangle. The whole situation.
That Brandon dude weird.
Ain't he though?
Like, he is weird.
I was like, that is not how you come on here. Like, what is you doing, sir? Like,
I want to be like Cardi B and just yell out, what was the reason?
Well, like, what is you doing? I
mean, why are you here? Go away from me with this.
And she was just calm and stuff, and I was a little embarrassed. Like, you know, I won the bet. I was embarrassed, and the whole. We had some Hennessy last night. Like, I was embarrassed. Like, you. Anyway, keep going, Artika.
I'm sure he lived with her too.
Cause he lived with his sister. He didn't need.
But he ain't sleeping on the couch at MM though.
No, he not. What she said that she was pregnant and lost the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I just again something about that man ain't right. Like, it is not right. It's also something about EKG that's not right. So I mean, she 2 for 2 on the not right. I don't understand why EKG has such a problem. Not time to sit down with a full plate. I don't understand why. And praying.
And he said a little prayer. He about to be down. You understand me?
Look, man, I've been hungry I've been thinking about this meal all day.
He said his prayer.
I got my meal slowly together and everything, and it just got done. So I'm sorry.
We family.
I was hungry, boss.
Anybody who here understand that you be the one. You the one to do the most eating. So
yeah,
everybody know. Everybody know we is something right.
Yeah, he does. I don't understand why EKG felt the way about Brandon though, because you didn't like her. You told her that on one of these reunion pieces, which was all the same day. So earlier this day, you said, "I'm not attracted to you." Mm-hmm. Why you got to get up because old boy came in? Like, it's nothing about him that should be any type of threat or anything to you. You don't like her. She chose him. Why you get up and leave? That just seems a little bit strange to me as well. But MM gotta fix her picker.
I was thinking he got up because maybe he was afraid because, like you said, something wrong with Brandon and something wrong. And maybe he knows something wrong with Brandon. And when he got and sat down, maybe he felt like Brandon would have said some things that was inappropriate. I'm making that up, but it could be a thing.
No, I think we talking about Emma and Brandon and EKG, right? Mm-hmm. So it is weird. Brandon came out there. I'm sorry, I'm going back. Brandon came out there and asked Pastor Cal to dang on marry them, and I'm like, bruh, that ain't the conversation you just have right now. That's something you talk. You be like, hey,
You not gonna ask this pastor
right? You
No,
gonna say
does
no?
premarital counseling to just marry you because you here, bro. If you don't get out my face,
Right? Just answer their questions and get off the show, man, so y'all can go on
go
with.
home.
And answer them appropriately, please. Like,
Right.
they did not have the conversation beforehand that this is how we're gonna act when we get on here.
Right. Exactly. He just excited to be on TV. That's
And
what that
MM
was.
just happy to have somebody here
So,
beside
and
her.
he said
Right.
it. Didn't he say something like, I'm with her and she brought me up, but brought me on here, gave me a space, or gave me a spot. I can't remember what the words were because I was actually working at the same time. But it was
Yeah.
she gave me like she brought me on and gave me the spotlight too or something. Like gave me the, like I'm being seen. Like I don't know. I can't remember. I wish I could rewind it right now.
Yeah, it was just a weird like vibe, and then he come out saying, "Oh, I just won somewhere, bro. Just get your butt on TV. You want to be like somebody, man, get your butt on TV."
In case she don't have enough words, and Brandon got too many,
And then,
and I just need her to find somebody that's in the middle of that, but also know how to act in public because neither one of them got that down either.
did we figure out what was up with Ikechi just walking off the stage?
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
didn't want
yeah,
to shake the man's hand or nothing?
This is my thought on this, right? My thought on this is he knew Brandon was getting ready to do some dumb stuff, and I don't want to be a part of it. If you look at EKT's MO the whole season, when drama arises or he thinks drama's there besides him causing the drama, he don't want to be around.
Agreed.
So his mechanism is, you know what? In order for anything to pop off, or I say something, or I look something, or this dude say something foolish to me, I'm gonna go ahead and just bow out now, so I ain't got to deal with none of this. Not that I want MM, but I'm just gonna bow out. I ain't got to be here. Me
but
and
this is
MM
the
over.
thing about it, though. This is the problem that we've had with EKG during the season. Didn't say that. Like he could have told MM before, I wasn't sexually, physically attracted to you. Say something. Bro, you just gonna get up and walk off. What you should say is, thank you for me being on this part of the segment. I'ma let them talk, because that don't got nothing to do with me. Please excuse me.
Boy, you just said this. Y'all try to create some mess, and I don't want to be around. I'm gone. Right? So it was very simple things he just said. But when y'all talk about Brandon doing too much, man, you're a grown man, dog. You ain't got to come out and talk about this in bed. This man knows how to shake your hand. He can acknowledge you, give you a head nod, whatever. What you shaking this man's hand for? First of all, you don't really have his girl because he didn't want her. Can we say that you didn't take his woman? He didn't want MM. So in other words, MM is he really probably care. Truth be told, he's like us, man. So it's not that serious. So, but then Brandon, I didn't like the fact how Brandon put their business out there. Me and her were humping. I can't do my hand movement. I ain't seen that hand movement.
What adult does that?
I ain't seen that since second grade, man. You put the two hands together, somebody humping. Like, you telling this girl business. Maybe she didn't want anybody to know that y'all was humping. And he told the business about the miscarriage. Maybe she didn't want nobody to know that she had a miscarriage. And she said it. I'm still dealing with some things. I'm still dealing with this from us losing our child. But you're out here talking all kind of nonsense and putting her business out there like that, where it forces her to talk about something that she's not ready to talk about because you want to be on TV. I think he's not cool. He might be a good guy for her. I don't know him. I don't know him. But I just know what I've seen on TV. He's doing too much.
I think too, on the first part, she said that they've been together for a year and they have been on a roller coaster. And I think part of that roller coaster is the way he communicates and the way he kind of shows up. That's me. Honestly, that's how I feel. Like that could be one of the bigger issues, but she's one of the people that's going to want to work through it and, give him grace and try to figure it out. But I think that that's a big issue that they have in their relationship is the fact that he doesn't communicate very well. You know what I'm saying? Like he urban AF is really what he is, and does not know how to, like, I'm not even gonna say you need to play it down, but know the right verbiage to use versus and actions to use versus what he did, what he showed. I think that's more often than not. But y'all saw they gonna get married. Y'all saw. I guess they got another episode for us so they can get married. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all, you know.
I'm
So
so tired of the episodes.
I don't think I done. If we doing this next week, it won't be me on here with y'all. Okay?
Like I'm like, man, y'all should be done after this.
We're trying to figure something else to do next week because I don't care about the way are they now.
Yeah,
I'm just proud of myself that I made it this far, y'all, because y'all know this is a feat for me.
Me too.
But it's the only reason that I made it this far is because it started getting good when we started playing detective. And I was all in on the detective because I wanted to see how bad everybody was gonna lie.
Right.
But now that we beyond detective and we know what's going on, I don't need to know what y'all doing in present day.
Yeah. I don't care about you cooking at her house and everybody coming over, how you gonna feel when you see Michelle or whatever. However, I don't care.
Just tell me on Instagram, and I'm not subscribed. I mean, following. What's the thing on Instagram? Following. I'm not following none of y'all, so I'm not gonna find out anyways. People that care can look at it over there.
They could MAFS live or whatever fan. She could tell us. I don't know her name, but she could tell us, and I'm gonna watch it then. Or you tell us, Glenn. I don't know if you're gonna watch it.
Well, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna get a side to you. I'm gonna watch it, but I can tell you about it. I'll probably do a review on it. There's no need for a panel discussion unless something juicy happens. But I'm gonna watch it. I'm definitely gonna watch it. You know, it's just weird, man. And we talk about MM Picker, Pastor Calvin picking Casey, and so but MM picked Brandon, which I don't see it. Was she happy? So do you take her happiness as being, what it is? We may not like it, but she loves it for right now.
And I'm all like, is that fake? Because you hardly saw her smiling. She's very like monotone, very like, I'm just here. So I don't know if she is happy as as she is saying she is.
I wonder. Look at her posture in that seat. I was like, why is she sitting like that? She just, I don't know. The whole time she looked uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
She looked uncomfortable. I don't know.
It is a lot for her, that she's going through. And my thing with her and Brandon was that she didn't heal.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't heal at all for vacation, right? Not saying that her and Brandon should have hooked up. Not saying they should have got together. But give yourself some healing moment. She could have told this man, I just got out of a marriage. Like, can you hold on for a minute? Can you date me? Can you let me heal?
Just got out of a marriage.
Right.
And his was far more serious than hers because it wasn't married at first sight.
Right. He was like,
they had kids. They had been together for what he say, like a decade?
Yep, a decade.
Like, no, that was automatically a red flag for me. Like, why are you here?
Right. What man gonna just get out of one marriage and then jump right back into another one?
I mean, I know people that do stuff like that.
Yeah,
however, comma. It's strange when they do it too.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what they out of the marriage. When they do it, and they literally you married to people still, but they be out of the marriage. I feel like that's what ends up happening. That they like, I'm just doing stuff. I'm over this already. Anyway, y'all was talking. I'm just my bad, yeah.
Can I go back to this? Go this? Brandon trying to front Pastor Cal on TV too. Somebody made that comment earlier. I was like you're not gonna front me and force my hand to marry y'all. Pastor Cal was like, no, I don't think so. I don't know. Same time, man. Same time. I don't know you.
Well, let's be honest, right? Pastor Cal, I'll talk to you offline. Bro, do you even have a marriage license in California? Y'all not even from California. You're feeling in California, so Pastor Cal may not even have a license to marry you in California.
But besides that, I don't know you. You gonna try to get me on this adrenaline rush. Pastor Cal, for everybody that say he ain't no real man of God, like in this he took it serious. He's like, I'm not marrying nobody just on a whim. I ain't doing it.
I ain't put my name on this stuff.
Yeah, that's what I read in the fishing and said. He was like, he refuses to marry people that have not gone through premarital counseling with him.
Yep.
Right,
Like
yeah.
you go through some premarital counseling, but you also have to go through premarital counseling with me.
Yep.
And I first off, I would look at him like a huge red flag, anyways. And Pastor Cal is seeing more than we're seeing because
Right.
we're just seeing the
Mhm.
edit. So we know it's probably some other behaviors going on. No, I'm not marrying y'all. Nice try. Try again with somebody else.
Right.
Get somebody else to do it. That's not me. Somebody
Question
said,
in
"Do
the
you
chat.
think Brandon and MM were dating during his marriage?" I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
Not during his marriage, but through her marriage, until they got divorced, they would have a conversation. I think they
Yeah.
would have a conversation on social media, and so that's how they reconnected, how they got together. Doing his. Some people believe that MM was the reason that he was dating him prior to going on the show.
We can hear your question.
And that's
Glenn, your question not coming through. You going through a drop zone right now.
you got hear me out?
A
You got me
little
now?
bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, nope.
There you go.
Nope.
There you go.
Can you hear me now? Got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they were talking to each other. I think they were talking to each other on social media. The question the people talked about was that MM probably dated him prior to going on Married at First Sight, and that was the relationship she had before Married at First Sight, and that her and Brandon are making this story up and then lying. Don't know. And then she told EKG on the honeymoon about her past. Which some of that probably makes sense too. Why EKG keep getting up and all this other stuff because he knows about Brandon before reappearing. I don't think she's that silly enough after whatever time period for her to say yes if there was no I think I'm not anybody to do that. Like after a couple first date, he asked you to marry, you say yes. Like you talk about the D earlier, did he give the D like really that good?
I feel like they might. I was gonna say. I think that one of the things that happened is that she hadn't been intimate with nobody for a while, and then
that's
she
my
had a.
concern.
Oh, okay. He's still talking.
No, go ahead, Tilly. See you good.
Okay, because you was breaking up, coming in and out, so I thought you were finished. So my apologies. And I was just thinking that I think one of the things that made her say yes is that she had the sex with him. Like I feel like that was one of the things, and it was decent, and they had a good time. I don't know what does he do? Is he a fireman? Is that what he is? What happened? Okay, yeah. So I don't. That's all I got. I don't really. I think that she moved too fast, and she found out she moved too fast, and then she got pregnant, and then lost the baby, and they still in it. And I just
Don't this feel real like Risa Tisa?
it does. It does feel like Risa Tisa. It does. It does. It does. Hey, Marvina. It does. It does feel like Risa Tisa. Girl.
So, like, okay, fireman's daughter, well, former fireman's daughter. My dad has retired. Big city, your salary could be, decent. You could be making 6 figures as a fireman, right? Okay, cool. But you got the means to go buy me what they said it was a 4-carat ring. Former jewelry consultant, I know what a bad 4-carat ring costs, and she did not have a bad 4-carat ring.
No, she did
so
not.
you mean to tell me that you got a 4-carat ring, but you sleeping on your sister's couch? I feel like your priorities are a little messed up. I'm not saying you can't afford a 4-carat ring,
right?
Because that's not even where I'm going. But like, you sleeping on somebody's couch, but you out buying 4-carat rings and you not fully divorced. And again, I get it. People are out of the marriage before they're officially out of the marriage on paper. That's fine. But have you somewhere to live? And don't be out here buying 4-carat rings without somewhere to live.
So as a fireman, though, doesn't he spend a lot of time at the firehouse?
You do. So when my dad was a fireman, he was on a day, off a day, on a day, 3 days off.
Okay.
So he worked 24-hour shifts.
Okay.
So you do spend a lot of time at the fire station, but I know you also getting on your sister nerves if you on her couch.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you disrupting the way that her life go and her household functions. Unless she not at home too. But we don't know.
But maybe the sister ain't got maybe the sister's a single sister and got a whole room. I mean, it's a one house and she got a boyfriend. Maybe she ain't home and she always at their house. Who knows? I don't know. I just think it's all weird and she should have slowed down. Like,
It's still right. It is weird, and he feels very performative to me about everything. And I do
she wanted to be married. I feel
Really
like
over
she
the top. Really over the top.
Yeah, I get wanting to be married
Really
because
over the top.
I know people that want to be married, and they start lowering the standards because they want to be married, and they just be like, man, here, that one.
and they got something to prove. Like, I feel like she felt like I need to prove to Kechi that I'm a good whatever, and he was proving to his ex-wife that he a good whoever. And I feel like it was just we both are trauma bonding.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
that's
we both
all it is.
trauma bonding.
We trauma bonding, and we be doing it enough to produce a baby.
Mm.
And that's not really like enough. That's just so you know.
Yeah.
It works. It functions.
It functioned. I'm having a good time.
Well, Rita, she acted desperate. There's a baseline of desperation that comes along with doing Married at First Sight. So I can't even go into the desperation thing because all of them were desperate enough to do a show where they are marrying someone that they do not know and just it being arranged. So like the level of desperation being there, I kind of ignore because I wouldn't do Married at First Sight. Like a dating show is one thing, but getting married to a person that you don't know is totally different. And then watching it be filmed. And there was a lot of things that did during the course of her relationship with Ikechi that was where you wanted to be like, girl, blink twice because some not right in there. Like you keep missing it and you keep going back to this. Like the only time I felt like she may have been right in the head was when he bought her that divorce paper.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was like, I'll sign it if you got all of them, but what we doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I give you that. I think it's a little bit of desperation anyway. I think Jackie said all the time, these people on this show for a reason. Like they're here, they couldn't find a spouse for a reason. You had to go to Married at First Sight to find somebody. So there's desperation there. But also there's desperation in, her family thing with her dad. She really wanted to get married. She couldn't do it because her dad was living and she had to take care of her career. So now I want to be married. But what I really think with her, I want to hear what her mama says. Like, she hadn't told her on one of the episodes, she said she hadn't told her mama about her and Brandon. I want to know, what did your mama say when she found out that you got engaged?
How were you married? Well, not married. Like, how were you engaged and pregnant and your mama don't know? I'm confused.
I didn't see their wedding. I skipped it. Okay, I didn't. So I can't even remember if her mama was there. Was her mama there? Was her family there at the wedding?
I think so. I'm pretty sure they were. Like they know she got married to Ikechi, and one of her cousins was there, and her cousin was like the representative for the whole family since her dad.
I remember the cousin because the cousin was the representative with Brandon too. So I do remember the cousin, but I've always thought that there's something, and I'm glad that he recognizes that he didn't participate the way that he should have done something differently. But the moment that he was no longer attracted to her regularly or sexually, it was done for him. So he didn't know how to keep working on it, I guess.
I think he should at least tried a little bit harder,
I
man.
agree. I agree.
Like, cause it's one thing to we're all of an age where we can look at a situation and see what we're in and say, hey, this is not gonna work out for me and I can't go on, or this is not gonna work out for me but I can, I can finish up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Type thing, and treat this woman with respect. And that was the thing that bothered me. It was like you don't make sense in what you're saying. Just come out and say, "Hey, I don't like you. I don't think you're pretty." That's okay to say. You're in an experiment that majority of the time, and I know you're a fan of the show because you've chased this show. Majority of the time, people aren't going to work out.
The
So
the issue with that is that all the people that try to self-censor look the worst on this show.
right,
If you just completely real about like this not it, you not it for me, unless you say it like Chris, we tend to be like, all right, I get it.
but
As the viewers.
Chris's problem was he was like she ugly but still hitting it.
But still was hitting her. Because had he
Yeah,
not done
like-
that, we wouldn't have felt no kind of way. If he wouldn't keep pulling her in that room and her giving herself up because he calling her in the room to do it, we
Well,
wouldn't have felt so
also
bad.
that he said y'all didn't have, what did he say? Y'all didn't have no other queens.
Like, he was like he everything, like he didn't want no black woman. He Mexican, Asian. He called out everything but black women. Like he
he
was
basically said
dead
all
serious.
the women that y'all could have chose, y'all chose her
This
for
the
me.
one you got for me.
Isn't that crazy? And she
But
was a good one.
it's funny because it's like it was an honesty that we had, and it was an honesty that he gave, but it's like his actions behind it. Like you have to be mature enough to handle this experiment, but you also got to be truthful. And
Yeah.
that's the issue with that test. I don't think they're 100% truthful on it. Because we're having so many issues when you come into the whole when you're married, you know.
Yeah, you're right about them being truthful, because when you think about, okay, I know y'all not on no date app, but when I be on the date app and you read the people's stuff, the people, it's their representatives that are showing up when they feel that information. When they're like, tell me a little bit about myself, they're not gonna tell you, I'm a low key a-hole and I need things to be, I'm OCD and everything has to be a specific way. You got to learn that later. So they are just telling you what they think or who they believe they are versus who they actually are, like being really self-accountable about the things that they want and desire, and self-aware, even the good stuff, like good and bad. We should be truly self-aware about who we are, but I don't think that they're giving that. They're just giving all the things that they think that they desire and who they are, not thinking like, you know what, I hate coming home and cleaning up every day. I don't really like folding clothes. I need somebody that know how to fold clothes and ain't gonna get mad that I got these clothes sitting in here in my dryer in the basket for 3 weeks. Okay, I'm talking about me. Like, I hate folding clothes. I hate it. Hate it. I got a chair in my bedroom that's full of clothes. Like, they're not being honest about who they are. And I feel like I think you're right on that, Tommy. Like, they faking it.
Yeah, and this is what I think Ikechi did twice. But it's like be mature enough to say I don't like you. Well, I'm gonna rock through this thing because it's. I guess I look at the world differently, but I don't have to like a person to be cool with a person.
To be kind.
Like, and when I say like, I mean like want to be in a relationship with a person, right? But I can be cool with everybody, you know. I could make it through. Yeah, Artiga would have an issue with that, but I can make it through like a lot of things, you know. And we could talk about everything, but I can say, hey, man, I'm gonna work on this or I'm gonna work on that. But I just feel like you have to be mature, and I thought they took a better route because they got older people. You know, like when I saw how the ages of folks or the average age of folks were like mid-30s. I was like, oh, okay, that works. Let's see how that differs from having the younger people on there. So same outcomes, but we know that didn't.
There wasn't the same outcome. They wouldn't set. I mean, someone was setting their ways. Casey was setting his ways. MM didn't make the list. MM was like she wanted to. She was all in until Casey wasn't all in. You had Michelle and David, which was a 10-year gap. You had Camille and Thomas, which was a 10-year gap. So there was a lot of age differentiation between these couples. They had David and Madison, which liked to party all the time. That's why they get along. You had Warren and Carla was close in age, but Warren didn't want nobody who was broke. Warren did it for the experience, not for the marriage. Right. Warren did it for the platform. Warren did it for the platform to see what I could get out of it, not to be married to Carla. And then it didn't help that when he got there, she wasn't his type. Well, it helped him that she wasn't his type, and then she was into spirituality that he wasn't into. And so that's where when you look at some of the people age and Warren handled it well than everybody else, right? And I think if we didn't have the cheat, I think if we don't have the cheat scandal or have EK cheat, we might have been looking at Warren like, what's wrong with you, bruh? Like, what's wrong with this girl? Why wouldn't you try to show her some affection? But we had other things to talk about, and Warren flew underneath the radar until now. He's speaking the truth now. He's only talking about what's on the show, but some of these couples just didn't match up, and the experts got to take fault of that. Like, they didn't really match these couples up well, and then sometimes it makes you question, like, what questions are they asking, and what representative are some of these people presenting when they interview? Because when they if you ain't seen none of these characteristics when these people interview for the show, or you did see it,
they only sitting with them for an hour, 2 hours. These representatives are not showing up because they're not using intuition and discernment, and nor are they low-key psychic. They're not able to see anything. Whoever they show up as is who they show up as. They don't have people in there that's actually like looking at them as a person as a whole. I don't think that
they're filling out a questionnaire like a Scantron, and it's like boop boop boop
on the
Put
computer.
Y'all two together. She could match with this guy, or this guy. Which one of them not black?
But I heard it was really extensive to what they had to go through, like psychological stuff and all this other stuff.
Where you hear that at? Really?
Yeah, they had to go through a lot of before they got on the show. There was a lot of background that was involved prior to them getting to the show, or getting to this part.
Yeah, I don't know what they got to go through.
Unless some of these
But
people
when
are real
you
good
lie,
actors.
we tend to lie on things because we want the best version of ourselves to show.
Absolutely.
When you do like those questionnaires for a job, they ask you the same questions over and over again in different ways, and all you got is strongly agree, neutral, strong, like disagree, and strongly disagree. And that's pretty much what I feel like they're having them do. And if you're always thinking of the best version of yourself, like on the best day of the week, when I feel like folding up my clothes when they come out the dryer, this is who I'm going to present in this marriage.
Right.
And they be lying.
Exactly. Yeah, it's as soon as I get home from traveling, I put my clothes away. No, mine be in the suitcase for a little bit, like a week. Okay, like I ain't even gonna lie, that's where they be. Okay, so every now and again I might do it right away, but they be in the suitcase. So it's just now.
And based on that, they need to match you with somebody who gets their stuff out of the suitcase immediately.
Yes.
Like, I laugh because there'll be like these things online. Like, there's a person who packs early, and then there's a person who packs last minute, and then they marry each other. Ta-da!
And that works because of the simple fact that it just does. Imagine you both doing it at the last minute. That's not gonna work out. Okay, one of y'all doing it on time is great, and the other person being last minute is cool. Like I'm the last minute. I'm actually two. So if I ever say I'm with somebody and you know that he the person that plans and packs weeks ahead, and I'm doing it the night before my plane leaves.
And then Tommy still come in the bathroom and be like, you forgot this, you forgot that. Let's put this in the bag. But you can't
Yeah.
do the test as I'm really excited to go on this vacation. So I've been packing my stuff for 2 weeks and I bought all these new outfits and I took them out of the pack and I washed them and then I folded them because I know I'm not wearing these at home because it's winter here, but it's summer where we going.
Yeah.
So you get all this stuff done and it just, they be lying. That's it. They just be
Perfect
lying.
examples. Those are perfect examples, Artika, because absolutely they lying.
Like they just be lying.
That's hilarious. I'm just sitting up here amazed at the conversation. So y'all go ahead.
That was amazing.
Y'all go ahead. I felt like my wife gave me some props. Go ahead.
She did. She did.
She did. Tom.
No, actually, she always does. She always.
You know y'all don't hit. I don't get props a lot now.
No, you do. You actually do. You maybe not at home, between y'all, but I believe that she does give you a lot of credit.
I do. He just don't take them that way. He wants to prove something else behind it.
Yeah.
He wants to hear, Tommy, you do this well.
Sometimes you need a pat on the back. That's all.
Well, I'm here to tell you, I think she gives you a pat on the back.
Yeah.
And she's literally giving you a pat on the back now. Yeah.
I think you're doing an amazing job. All of you are.
Thank
so
you.
yeah.
Thank you.
But and I know y'all. So you know what I'm saying? So and I feel like you guys are doing a really great job.
Yeah. I will say this to not get sidetracked too much. This reunion was boring.
This episode.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Like the whole reunion, I was like snooze fest. I stayed up, but I was
that's because he watched it in the afternoon, not before bed. He watched it today.
I was like as I was watching, I was like, man, we got to talk about this.
When he finished it, the very first thing that I said was, I watched it, but I can't tell y'all what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man.
All I can say is that they all sat beforehand and had a conversation or thought about what they were going to say and did not want to, make sure it's been a year. I moved on. Yes, I learned some lessons. They,
Shout out to Glenn for guiding us.
Yeah. Look, Glenn knew he was gonna have to because he was bored in that episode.
I was bored.
We was gonna be on here 30 minutes talking about the episode. Say it again.
I was bored watching him. You know what? Once you have KG and Brandon and him, and then you got your whole Juan and night. It's like everything was cool, right? It makes you wonder now why they want to on.
You gotta start over. We don't know what you were saying.
That was cool.
You gotta start over.
Oh,
you gotta start over, Glenn. The end we got, but not the beginning. Stop laughing, Tommy. Okay. You know we want to hear what he got to say.
I didn't. That's why I'm like confused. Like you gotta start over.
Rewind.
Say it again.
What I said was, I was sleeping on this episode too, Charlie. You got to pull things from other pieces that's going on in reality right now, especially the stuff with Juan and Carla. And Juan said he wanted to be friends. It seemed like she didn't want to be friends. And then do you call Carla fake because he's not saying anything that's secretive? He's just talking about the stuff that happened that we all seen and what he didn't like. So I mean, they waited till after the reunion to talk about all this stuff, and which is almost a year and a half now already after it. It's like, where was this excitement when we was watching the episode? Where was this excitement at the reunion? Like, this could have been brought out at the reunion with Carla and Juan when their true issues were. But Juan's problem is that Juan likes to be liked. Juan wants to be liked. And so it was boring. And Kevin Frazier asking the same question over and over again, which we knew we were never going to get the answer to.
Right.
It was good seeing pregnant Dr. Pia, though.
Yeah. And to know that she having a miracle baby. That's really great. I'm excited for her. And I'm also I really want Dr. Pepper to go because I'm all like, you aren't contributing. I know y'all like her, but she don't be contributing nothing no more. Like, she used to contribute. She don't contribute.
That's
because she know these folks ain't gonna be here for real. She's just like, why am I playing with y'all? I'm not about to get my good counseling out on y'all. Y'all be lying.
She collecting that check, man.
Y'all ain't getting it for free. You ain't getting it for free. Wait till the show is over and then I charge you.
Yeah, right. Man, so who are we talking about? Carla and Juan?
Yeah, man, we done, man. We just shooting the breeze right now. The other
I was
one,
like,
Oh,
don't
okay.
call me the line.
So we talked about everybody.
Yeah, I guess.
it was and for the most part, wasn't nothing else new to talk about.
Was it
Okay.
something you wanted to say about Carla and Juan? Because you was like, "Are we talking about Carla and Juan?" And you
Yeah,
had
it's something.
like your face is ready. So
What did I
Go
say
ahead,
about
Tom.
that? I did want to say something about Carlin Juan, but I can't remember. I think what you guys said about Juan just wanting people to like him is true. He does want people to like him, but yeah, that's I ain't have anything good to say about Carlin Juan. I was like watching them. I was like, yeah, they didn't do anything to. They just like straight middle of the road for me. You know, y'all wasn't bad, but y'all wasn't good either. And it's almost like we like, this reunion was boring, but like we didn't have like if we had more couples, I think that actually stuck it out and actually worked out, I think would have been a lot better. We just had Camille and Thomas, which they're the boring couple, but they work.
The boring couple always make it to the
boring
end.
couple always makes it to the end. Yes, they do.
We don't have to fight each other about stuff. Like the biggest issue with them was how black are you? Like,
Yeah.
I did like.
I wish they would have addressed that more.
there's nothing to address.
Like it's at least bring it up. Like that was their issue.
That was the only issue. That's the only issue they had because they didn't have no other issues. So they made it like it was a lot, and it really wasn't probably as much as it should have been. And then though, I know on this next episode, see, maybe I will watch the next episode, but I won't be on here doing no because he talks about he was like, I'm waiting for the passion, like that new relationship energy when it comes to intimacy. Like, so is that not exciting? Like. You know what I mean? Like he's waiting on that. When you like somebody in them first few months, that NRE, honey, you be trying to. Y'all remember what it was like? Sometimes
it's a year in now. Like if you was gonna get the new relationship passion, you would have had it by now. Like,
right, and I think that's he's having a problem with not having it.
Yeah. Somebody need to tell him, hey man, that thing slow down after like 3 or 4 months, man.
I don't think it ever started.
Yo,
I think that's the issue. I think it never.
Well, that's because she was lying. Again, we be lying with this lingerie. I'm gonna give you this and I'm gonna give you that. And then the only thing that was outright halfway sexual was stuffing an avocado in his mouth. Girl, going on with this.
No.
You talking about that bondage and all that, and all she do, I just roll over and go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, real life happens.
What's happening is she like, I'm gonna break you off something proper, and
she's
then
not.
And then by the time he gets to the bed, she knocked out.
So she like a girl at brunch with her friends.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. I saw that and I was like, he ain't getting none.
She sending the text message about what she gonna do, and then she fall asleep as soon as she get in the house.
Girl, you only need 10 minutes. You only need 10, 15 minutes tops and it'll be done. Like, I don't understand.
I said the same thing.
What you playing on her phone? Playing on her phone when it's time to go.
Yeah, leave, man.
He like, nope.
I feel attacked.
She be lying. She be lying like she the margarita girl, but she just be sleepy.
Wait. I feel attacked.
Don't feel attacked. Don't feel attacked.
Just because I be on my phone when I say I'm going to bed or scrolling on TikTok, don't do that.
Don't feel attacked.
Yeah,
don't do that. I myself too.
Well, I don't feel attacked. My
Hey,
spouse
Tommy,
is always great.
Hold on, Tommy, did I say any names? I said no
You
names.
cut your eyes. I've seen you.
Tommy, did I say any names?
Just because I got my eyes on the road. Just because I got my eyes on the road don't mean I can't see you.
Hit dog or holler. Hit dog or holler. That's all I
Tommy!
Yo, you know it's bad because it's so many women. You watch Instagram, you see all these reels about this, and it's funny to watch those reels because dudes be trying to tell their truth and funny in the reels. Like,
Yeah.
So it's
different.
Look, if Thomas is thinking this is going down, wait till you throw kids into the mix.
Yeah.
And wait till you throw other things into the mix. Now it becomes a different situation, different story in life.
Can I go to that, like Tommy, like you said? I wish somebody had told, tell people when you get married, I mean, you still gonna like yourself, you still gonna love yourself, but it might not be fireworks all the time. It's not always passion all the time. It's just not. That's the reality of it. It doesn't mean you love your partner or desire your partner any less. And so, like you were saying, we a year, and maybe it don't fizzle that that soon, but you know what I'm saying. Once you really start getting into life, like outside the cameras, everybody they're working every day. Like they come home, they eat. You gotta wash clothes, you gotta wash dishes. You get tired. Whatever the case may be, I wish us married people, and I think we do a good job to let people know this is the reality. Really, Pastor Cal said it. Like marriage is like stability. You know what I mean? It's not always. You can't just run on the passion all the time because that's gonna fizzle. People's looks fade, your desire, stuff like that fade. But it's like the stability, and so I think that's what he's settling into, and somebody needs to enlighten him.
Yeah.
That's why we look forward to vacations.
Right.
That sounds like an episode of Matrimony Thoughts to me.
That sound like one to me too. I'm sure. Listen, I ain't married or nothing, but I'm gonna be listening. Did you write that down? So
you said that sound like what?
An episode of Matrimony Thoughts.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna tune in. Cause I mean, like it's the truth.
And send it to all our married folks.
It's the truth. Like it's funny because we talk about amongst my guy friends that's married, we talk about drought seasons, and it happens, man.
She didn't put her head to the side now, Tommy. If I was you now, okay.
No, I don't mean anything by it. I don't mean anything by it.
And how to handle drought.
I'm not in the drought season.
Okay.
It's raining over here, buddy. I don't know, man. I don't know.
This is day 3 of inappropriate conversation.
As long as you don't talk about Hennessy, we all right.
Day 2 was at a children's birthday party.
Oh Lord.
Talking to my cousin,
this, doing this, whatever the boy was doing on the thing. At least he ain't doing that.
Nah. He at least didn't wait for the kid to be around before he had the conversation.
Yeah.
That's funny, man. But yeah, I mean, like that. I think those conversations are important, especially for newlyweds or people. Like even for this show, I think you have to have a realistic conversation with them. Especially after the ones that say, yeah, let's do it, because for Thomas, like that little piece that we heard, like we don't know the conversation. We're just, assuming that it's like Sheen putting out. And I mean, that's one of those things you have to deal with. You know what I'm saying?
Figure out how to make it work. You have to talk about the conversation and figure out how it works. Because for me, drought season was whenever money was a problem. Okay, so I don't think money is a problem for her. He seemed like he got a decent job and got some money, so he needs to have a conversation and figure out what drought season is about. Is it because mentally she's got a lot going on? Is she depressed? Is she overworked, overwhelmed? Is it trying to figure it out? Just had a conversation. Help her get out of the drought season. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's all it is. It's just a conversation and say it's a conversation of I need. Yes. This is what I need, and you're not giving it to me. So what do you need so I can get what I need, and we both can have our needs fulfilled.
And Rhonda just put on in the comments, I think Camille doesn't know how to be romantic. She might be used to having sex and not making sweet love. She's still tomboyish. And that kind of goes back to the guys that she dated.
Yeah, that's true.
She wasn't living with anybody. Right. That's one, because that's totally different, living with somebody versus not.
It is.
But then on top of that, it seemed like she was dealing with
hood boys.
Thug loving,
and
it was just hit it, and he finna go on back to the house.
Right. And it wasn't. He probably wasn't thinking about what she wanted and her desires. It was, I'm getting it and I'm gone. or we're gonna go eat. I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna spend the night, and I'm gonna go home. It wasn't.
And now she wants to think about Thomas, and she not doing that very well.
And I'm not gonna say that all of them are like that, because you know that used to be my thing. Them is who I used to love, and so I'm not gonna say that all is like that, because there be some real good ones, and honestly they be in love with me and want to spend all the time, and I be like, you need to go home, okay? But it's absolutely that. It's absolutely that. Absolutely. Hey,
Thomas probably tired. Remember the whole episode of he's a pleaser, and he's not getting pleased.
Ooh,
and so he's
that's
feeling some
right.
type of way.
She's not returning the favor.
So
yeah.
He might be making false promises, and he's like, hold on for a minute. I'm just saying, I don't know the conversations, but we got to play. We might have to talk about where are they now. It depends on how that's pan out next week.
Yeah,
we gonna see.
Yeah. That's a by the week.
It's a TBD.
Yeah, we will see. Hey, but before we get out of here, Tommy, articulate what y'all got rolling, what y'all got rocking, what y'all talking about.
It's a masterpiece of minimalism. That's what it is.
It's we getting back into the fold of things, man, because being out for 2 weeks, that was a lot. It was a lot.
Right.
Like literally, we we didn't think about anything but Lily and getting her better and stuff. And so for us, we just picking it back up. We did Love Brew podcast yesterday morning, so you can catch that Saturday mornings at 8:30.
If you're on the West Coast, that's at 5:30 in the morning, child.
Yeah, Talisa be catching it sometimes, man.
Sometimes, and you know
I be happy to see it.
I was up yesterday, and I should have caught it yesterday because I was.
You should have.
Yeah,
you should have.
I was up.
What are we talking about?
I don't remember.
It was something about a lady on OnlyFans.
One of the OnlyFans girls. The guy ended up going to glory because he wanted to be wrapped up in saran wrap.
Yeah. What else? We talked about something else. R&B music needs to be brought back, like good cheating music and stuff. Anyway, I built the table, so I'm getting that video together for I can build that. Yeah.
I'm about to send Quad to live with Talisa because he tripping.
Come on, Quad.
Yeah, but
that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we got going right now.
Well, I just want to tell everybody who was waiting on my Ready to Love episode, whatever the last one was, blame Glenn, because the moment he told me that they took a break, I did too. I ain't even watch it. Still ain't even watched it. The moment, so blame Glenn. He could not have told me that. The moment he told me that, I was like, well, what's the point of me doing this right now? I might as well wait. But I will eventually. It might be when they get ready to start back up. Who knows? Maybe it'll be this week. I don't know. But I've been busy with work. I'm back at work, so I'm busy with like reports. But my plan is for April. When April comes back, is to bring back Truthful Thursday. We do still have Black Book Joy, the book club, and we are reading Sky Full of Elephants by Sibo Campbell. So if you aren't part of that book club and you want to be, reach out to me on Instagram under Black Book Joy. I can send you the link so that you can join us. And then I think that's really kind of it for me right now. I want to get my life back in order to do this. I didn't tell y'all, but my job is streamlining, so they're letting some people go. So I don't know if I'm going to be one of them people. I'll find out tomorrow. And if I happen to be one of those people, I will probably disappear for about a month, okay? And then I'm going to be back. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be back because I don't feel away either way. I don't feel away. I'm grateful. I love my job. Lord, hear that. Understand that I'm grateful. But if it's his decision for me to move on, then I'm going to put a lot of focus into this part of my life. So know that. And I want to put a lot of focus back into this part of my life anyway in April. So understand that something is going to happen. I can feel it coming. That's why I broke these wrists for a breakthrough. You know what I'm saying? And now that they're healing, something good's coming. Stop laughing at me, Tommy.
I'm going to say it off the thing.
very appreciative of that. Like I said, we got, try to find something else to review. Probably do Family and Fiance, and some other stuff. I probably end up doing that show where your mom picks your boy, your girlfriend.
Me too.
I will do that. End up doing that, and then we'll see what Jack can hop on with me because she got some stuff going on. But then she helped us out today, so we'll see if we get some matrimony thoughts pop it off, and that's what we're working on. So appreciate you guys. Thanks for rocking with us on these Sunday afternoons, and we'll talk offline and see if we can just get something other than Married at First Sight on Sunday afternoons that we can talk about. Maybe just a little family chat.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe a family chat. That's nice. We do family chats very well.
Yeah. Family chats and see if you guys want to participate. So appreciate you guys. Thanks for rocking with us, and we'll talk to you guys later. Thank y'all.
Bye.
Peace.